Hello, flute class! So tonight we're going to learn the first half of O Hanukkah. So look at the very beginning. Just so you'll know, real quick, you will need a pencil. So if you don't have one on your stand with you right now, press pause, go get one, and come back and join us. Now, look at the first measure. You will see that we are in 4/4 time. So that means that there are 4 beats in a measure and the quarter note gets a beat. You will also notice our key signature. Our key signature, look at the 2 flats right after the treble clef and right before the time signature. You have a B flat and an E flat in your key signature. That means that we're in the key of B flat. We learned that, right? B flat and E flat. So all the B's in this piece are flat and all the E's in this piece are flat. All right. Now, there's also something else new that we haven't learned yet in the first measure. You'll notice that there's a dark black line with a 4 over it in the very first measure. Look at that right there. All that means is that's 4 measures of rest. 4 measures of rest. So you'll just count it like this. You'll say the first beat. You'll say the measure number. The first beat will be the measure number. And then after that you just count the rest of the beats. So it'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then you play. So the first number that you say is what measure you're in, and then the rest are just accounts. All right? So look at measure 5. That's when we actually play. The first note that we play is an E flat. So just make sure that your first finger's up. It's like a D, except with your pinky down. So your pinky's down, and then this first finger's up. All right. So this time, let's count our first 4 measures of rest, and then we're going to play measure 5. Make sure you tongue it with a 2-syllable. We'll bring our flute up in the 4th measure so that you're ready to play by measure 5. Here we go. Count your rests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, breathe. And there we go. We're in measure 5. So the best thing that you can do is during that 4 measures, go ahead and finger an E flat so that you're ready to play it when you get there. All right. Starting in measure 5, we have an E flat. Measure 6, you have a D, so you just lift your pinky. It's the only thing that moves. And then in measure 7, we have a G. And then measure 8, we have another G. Now you'll notice that these 2 G's, the one in measure 7 and the one in measure 8, are linked together by this curved line. What that is a tie. T-I-E. It's a tie. So these 2 notes are tied together. Take a look. Right here, this curved line. So all that means is that you're going to tie these notes together. Instead of just getting 4 beats and then another 4 beats, that gets 8 beats. So you tongue the first note, you tongue the first G, and then you just hold it out through the next G. Okay? So look at measure 7, where that G is, where the G is tied to the other G. You would just articulate the first note, and then hold it out for 8 counts. 2. Notice in a tie, I didn't tongue the second G. You just hold it up, okay? So let's say the note names and finger along from measure 5 through 8. Say the note names and finger along. Measure 5 through 8. 1, 2, ready, go. E, D, G. So that's 8 foot taps on that G. All right, let's play it. Make sure that you're tonguing every single note except for the second G. 1, 2, ready, breathe. So let's do that again. 1, 2, measure 5, breathe. Now, if you're having trouble with that first line, press pause, practice it, and then when you've got that down perfectly, come back and join us. Let's all look at measure 9. Measure 9, you will notice that we have eighth notes. Now, we've talked about eighth notes and we've drawn eighth notes, but we haven't counted them or played them yet. So, and we know that an eighth note is half of a beat. So 2 eighth notes equal 1 beat, right? That means that there are 2 sounds on 1 beat whenever you have eighth notes. Now, when you were in elementary school, you counted eighth notes like TT. You said TT, and your quarter notes were ta. So in elementary school, you would have counted measure 9 like this. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti. That sounds familiar, right? Ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti. Ti, ti, there's 2 sounds on a beat. Well, now that you're big 6th graders, we're going to change up the counting just a little bit. It's the same rhythm. There's still 2 sounds on a beat. It sounds the same, but instead of saying tas and titis, we're going to say 1s and 2 ands, 3s, 4 ands. We're going to say the beat number, the count, and then add an and to it. All right, that sounds confusing, but it's really not. Just listen. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Say that with me. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So whenever there's an eighth note, the first one gets the beat that it is, the count, and the second one gets and. So what I want you to do right now is take your pencil, and you're going to write 1 underneath the quarter note, because that's beat 1. And then the first eighth note gets a 2 beneath it. And then the second eighth note gets a little and sign. So not the word and, just the and sign. It looks like this. So 1, and then 2 and. See that little and sign? It's a little plus sign. And then you get 3 beneath beat 3. And then 4 and. And then I did the same thing in the second measure. I said 1, 2 and, 3, 4 and. And then I did it for the rest of the line. So you go ahead and do that now. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. While you're doing that, remember it's the same as ta, ti, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti. Okay? And then once you finish writing that in, we'll be ready to play it. Okay, if you're not done writing it in, just press pause, and then you can come back and join us. Actually, don't press pause. You can just finish up this video because I am going to stop it, and we're going to go on to part 2 where we'll begin playing our quarter notes and eighth notes. All right? So join me in part 2. YouTube only lets us do 10-minute videos. So I will see you in a couple of seconds.